Imagine entering a supermarket and discovering a revolutionary machine. It saves your arms, carries twice as much food, and prevents you from hugging a watermelon like a newborn baby. Useful, right? Well, when the shopping cart first appeared, customers looked at it and basically said, "No, thank you. I would rather suffer." Yes, the invention that now follows us through every supermarket began as a public embarrassment on wheels. Welcome to Hidden Hands of History, the stories of ordinary-looking things and the surprisingly human people behind them. Today, meet Sylvan Goldman, a businessman who solved a problem everyone had, only to discover that nobody wanted to be seen using his solution. Stay with us, because his answer involved fake shoppers, wounded pride, and one extremely clever marketing trick. To understand the cart, we need to visit American supermarkets in the 1930s. Self-service shopping was still a fresh idea. Instead of giving a list to a clerk, customers walked along the shelves and selected products themselves. Exciting? Absolutely. Convenient? Mostly. But every item went into a wire handbasket. Bread was easy, a few cans were fine. Add milk, flour, potatoes, and meat, and grocery shopping quietly became an upper body workout. The basket created a natural spending limit, not a financial limit, but a bicep limit. Customers often stopped shopping when their hands hurt, even when they still wanted more. The basket would announce, "We are finished." And the customer's fingers, now the color of questionable ham, would agree. For shoppers, this was annoying. For store owners, it meant potential purchases were walking out the door, or rather, never reaching the checkout. One owner paid close attention. Sylvan Goldman was an Oklahoma businessman who, with his brother Alfred, built a grocery business and became associated with the Humpty Dumpty supermarket chain. Yes, Humpty Dumpty, a brave name for a company selling eggs. Goldman was observant. He watched customers, studied how they moved, and noticed that many left not because their shopping lists were complete, but because their arms had filed for early retirement. Goldman saw a beautifully simple equation. If customers could carry more, they could choose more. They would feel less tired, and the store would sell more food. Everybody wins, except perhaps the person who enters hungry and accidentally buys enough crackers to survive a small winter. But what could replace the basket without making the store difficult to navigate? The answer arrived from a very ordinary object. One evening in 1936, Goldman looked at a folding chair. Most people see a folding chair and think, chair. Goldman saw a grocery vehicle waiting to happen. What if a metal frame could hold a basket at seat height? What if another basket sat below it? Add wheels, keep the folding mechanism, and customers could push their food instead of carrying it. Somewhere, every exhausted forearm in Oklahoma felt a disturbance in the universe. Goldman worked with Fred Young, an employee skilled in maintenance and mechanics. Together, they developed a tubular metal frame with small wheels, folding supports, and space for two removable wire baskets. It was practical, compact, and surprisingly elegant. Officially, it was called a folding basket carrier, which sounds less like a retail revolution and more like something hidden on page 47 of an office supply catalog. In 1937, Goldman introduced the carrier in his stores. Advertising promised customers something new and sensational. No more baskets to carry. He positioned the shiny frames near the entrance and waited. This should have been the moment shoppers cheered, music swelled, and grocery history rolled confidently forward. Instead, customers walked past. Some stared. Others avoided eye contact with the invention, as if it were selling suspicious insurance. Many women thought the carrier looked too much like a baby carriage. In that era, pushing a pram was closely associated with childcare, and some women reportedly felt they had pushed enough baby carriages already. Mrs. Parker's imaginary review might have been, "I finally left the children at home. Why has the supermarket given me another stroller?" The machine offered physical convenience, but socially it carried the wrong message. Some men had another concern. Pushing a carrier might make them look weak. A proper strong man could carry his own basket, even if his fingers were numb and his shoulder was preparing legal action. Goldman could have said, "Sir, that basket contains 20 cans." Mr. Miller would answer, I am a strong man. You're shaking. That is not shaking. That is enthusiasm. Pride was heavier than the groceries. Some older shoppers also worried that using the device would make them appear frail. And there was Goldman's real problem. The wheels worked, the baskets worked, the mechanism worked, but the product touched people's identities. Women saw unwanted domestic symbolism. Men saw weakness. Older customers saw dependence. Goldman had solved a mechanical problem and accidentally created a social one. No wrench in Fred's workshop could repair that. Great inventions are not always rejected because they fail. Sometimes they are rejected because using them feels strange. Goldman didn't need better wheels. He needed to make the cart look normal. So, how do you persuade customers to use something they are embarrassed to touch? His answer involved actors, fake shopping, and a very persuasive woman at the door. Follow the channel and join us in episode 2, where Goldman turns his supermarket into a tiny theater and changes shopping forever.